Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of the Cogni-Thrive podcast, where today we are going to talk about, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. What are we talking about?
We are going to talk about going to a physician with concerns.
Okay. There you go. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll do better. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Cogni-Thrive podcast, where we help you understand the signs of early cognitive decline and the many ways available to keep your brain healthy. Judi Pritchard is a certified cognitive coach with more than 30 years of experience, and her company, Cogni-Thrive, provides comprehensive tools to support cognitive resilience as you age. Join Judi and her husband Philip as they continue to spread the message that dementia is not definite.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome into another podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. We hope you're subscribing. We hope you're getting great information and are visiting our website, cogni-thrive.com. I'm here with my lovely wife, Judi Pritchard, and
Hello.
She is going to talk about the process of getting diagnosed if you think you're having issues. And let me tell you something, folks, this is not a quick process.
No.
So you need to do it
it's
sooner
not.
than later. So let's get into it.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's talk this through. So when you go to a physician, especially if it's like your general practitioner, most general practitioners are not comfortable giving a diagnosis of a cognitive decline. They don't specialize in it. So no fault of theirs. They just can't specialize in everything there is out there. So more than likely, they're going to refer you on to somebody else. If they're referring you to a memory clinic, which is a clinic that specializes in cognition, and they're going to give you a complete and comprehensive assessment to find out exactly what's causing your cognitive decline or your cognitive concerns. Be prepared, because even as recently as this week, I've had a client tell me that they attempted to go to a memory clinic, and the wait time, they couldn't get scheduled until the end of next summer.
Wow.
So over 12 months away from when they called. So, and my first question always is, so what did they tell you to do in the meantime?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It's crazy.
And not even, if we have a cancellation, we'll call you. You
Right.
can check back and see if there's been a cancellation. So there's at least 12 months that you're waiting, and you don't know what to do. You're worrying. You're fearful. I just can't imagine waiting that long to get help. So that's why we're coming to you today.
Yeah.
Because we want you to know what to do in that 12 months.
Yeah.
And what you've got to do is start working on it.
Yeah,
Don't
and
wait.
we're trying to make Cogni-Thrive kind of the bridge to bridge that gap between I've got serious issues and I know I need to get some testing done, but I got to wait to get that done from a specific physician. So this is what you do in the meantime.
Yeah. So, and then once you go to that visit after the first 12 months, after waiting 12 months, they're going to do just general information. So then
Right.
you have to schedule another appointment. So what we want you to do is start working today to help yourself get better.
Right.
And we start just like we do what we've talked about before with the cognitive profile. So let's find out exactly where your brain is struggling. And let's look at your lifestyle and what areas of your lifestyle do we need to enhance or change slightly to make it more brain healthy and make you more brain aware. And then we develop an entire program for you that combines exercise and cognitive exercise for your brain and your body. It's a holistic approach to helping you get a step ahead on whatever's happening in your brain. We'll also assist you with getting with your general practitioner. What kind of labs should you have? So when you go in that 12-month period finally to the doctor, to that clinic that you were hoping to get into, you're going to have a whole volume of information that you're going to take. And in that hour's worth of time, or however much time they can give you in that appointment, you're already going to be so much further ahead, because you're going to be bringing to them specific information around what's happening, when it's happening, if it's happening. And hopefully by then, through the cognitive plan that you've been working on, you'll be able to show them, here's where I was, here's where I am, and hopefully we've seen improvements, or at least nothing getting worse.
Yeah, and we've been through the process, you and I, over the last couple of years of going through some incubator courses to try and develop an application, just trying to look and see what kind of market there is and what drives people to actually get help. And it amazes me, and you too, that it seems though unless someone actually has what I would call a pretty serious mess up, I guess you could call it, they're not really motivated to get help. The family history doesn't seem to matter. Even a lot of mild issues they may have, they just kind of write it off to normal stress or everyday activities or job-related things. So it's very important, guys, to just, even if you are functioning great, that's the best time to get your cognitive assessment, because then you know this is where I should normally be. And by redoing it every year or however often you want to, but at least annually, you start trending and you can see different things. But if you're having a healthy brain, there's no reason you can't go to the gym. You do it for your body to stay healthy. Why not go to a gym to keep your brain healthy all the time, or just do the activities and learn how to do it?
Yeah. So like when you were saying, get a cognitive assessment just through like our channels. So it's an online assessment that you can just manage your own brain health, and you can see year over year, if you just take it annually, how well your brain's functioning. And if there's any changes, then we can work together on it and make it stronger.
Yeah.
So that you don't ever, hopefully, ever have to have a need to go to a specialist clinic.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you were saying about us looking, and we have several great things that we're working on to try and help people.
My wife's brain never stops.
He loves when I wake him up at 2 a.m. and go, what about this idea?
Yeah.
But
we are married, by the way.
Yeah, by the way. But even though, and people, I would have to disagree just a little bit, because people that have family members, especially if they're caring for them, they do worry about, am I going to be next? If my dad or my mom has Alzheimer's, am I going to be next? But they don't know what to do about it. And they don't know how to get help, and they're afraid of getting diagnosed. And because they don't know readily, the information's not out there, that you can make an impact on your brain, and that which can lead to slowing down or even stopping any kind of problems you're having. Because people don't know that.
Right.
I think that's why they're paralyzed almost in thinking, there's nothing I can do. It's just going to be inevitable. And that's why we have the slogan, dementia is not definite.
That's right.
Just
because it's not.
It's not, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be something that you can just say, oh, dementia's not definite, I don't have to worry about it. You do have to manage it, and we're giving you the tools to be able to do that.
All right, so if you're listening right now, you might be thinking this sounds like it's too good to be true. And again, we know there is no cure for dementia, but there are things that can be done to offset it and slow it down and let you live a great life.
Yeah, even
so. Yeah, so you have a client you've been working with for several years who was actually diagnosed with MCI. How many years ago?
Almost 10 years ago.
10 years ago, and talk about what that client is up to right now.
Yeah, so it's actually been fun for me, because as a cognitive coach, I don't always get to branch out and do different things. But she and her family have been planning a dream bucket list vacation, and they didn't know when they first started coming to me. Actually, we've been working together for 3 years now. This was on their list of things they wanted to be able to do, but they just assumed it would never happen. Well, I actually helped work with the destination of where they were going, and actually called them and worked out plans and made just simple modifications and worked with them on processes and approaches to take, such as identifying information for her to be able to find her room, where it is, and things like that. That they're on that trip right now, and I keep getting pictures from them, and it's going great. And they've even run into little snafus with the airlines, and they've managed it well, because they understand what's happening in her brain, and they understand how she needs to, how they can adapt their lives and their approaches simply, that it helps them go on this wonderful dream vacation, and they're loving it, and it's going well. And this is almost 10 years after being diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. Right.
And I think what's so important from that is not the fact that you were able to step in and help, put some things in place to help it be more functional. Just the fact that she and her family have the confidence to know, hey, we're good. This is great. We're still going and doing what we normally do. Whereas, 10 years ago, a diagnosis like that you would just never think of doing something like this, planning a massive trip.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. It's so cool what you're doing.
Yeah, and she's pretty phenomenal. Her test scores over the 3 years we've been working have done nothing but maintain, which is great, or even improved in some areas. So that she's put in the hard work though.
Right.
It's not a magic pill.
Yeah.
She has to work at it. She's following my plan to the T, and she's doing just great. And we do adjust that plan.
Yeah.
That's part of our sessions. We work together to find out, how things going, what's working, what's not, what do we need to tweak. But it all starts with knowing and understanding how your brain is functioning. So even like you were mentioning, even if you're not worried about, oh, I think my brain's changing, or, oh, I got a new cell phone and it's really challenging for me to set it up, you still should know what your baselines are, because the first thing you don't want to have happen is you go to the physician and you say, I just kind of feel like I'm getting confused easily, or I'm starting to forget things. And a lot of times physicians will misdiagnose that as a depression.
Right.
Which leads to new medications. And a lot of those medications have cognitive side effects. So it's a double whammy. And in the meantime, if you would have done some other steps beforehand, you could have been better prepared for that discussion and know more about your own brain so that you could help with your own diagnosis.
Right. And I know that's something we're going to talk about in the future. We have a dear friend who is a pharmacist who has partnered with us on some other things with Cogni-Thrive. She's going to come on and really talk about the relationship with your pharmacist.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
How you need to have a relationship with your pharmacist.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into a lot of detail of what medications do what, because obviously we don't want to get into the weeds of, what actually happens with medications. But it's going to be a good podcast.
Absolutely.
So obviously what we're understanding from this particular podcast is that number one, it is a process to get diagnosed.
It is.
And it's not a short process. It's not a hard process. It's just, unfortunately, it just comes down to getting to the right person. And so if you think you're having any issues, no matter how minor they are or major they are at this point, go ahead and start trying to get into the system in your area to get to that neurologist, to get that formal diagnosis. But in the meantime, seek out someone like Judi, who is on the cutting edge of brain therapy and cognitive therapy and just putting things into place to keep your mind active.
Yeah, don't have a wait period put you in a corner.
Right.
And make you feel helpless and defenseless. Call me. Let's get started. That's the time to start working. That's not the time to curl up in a ball. You've got to start fighting, and every day matters. And there's no telling what you could change in a year's time that you're waiting for your first appointment.
Yeah.
So give me a call. Don't wait.
So guys, visit our website at cogni-thrive.com for more information. Our number's there. You can check out information about what we do. Judi does speaking engagements. She talks to veterans groups. If you are wanting to learn more about cognitive impairment and getting on this early, just check her out.
Yep. Thrive on, everyone. Give us a call.
All right. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening, and remember, we are not physicians, and you should always consult your doctor about what treatment is best for you. Please visit www.cogni-thrive.com to learn more about our services or to book Judi to speak at your next event.
Oh.